expressed. And I mean, I actually don't know procedurally if we're allowed to do another set of comments in a go-round or how it works. But the text that we have here after this process of editing is as follows. And the first is an introductory statement. We have all, as writers, come to the European Writers' Parliament in Istanbul to focus on literature as a means of broadening our world. We share the belief that literature is a place where different viewpoints meet and clash in the most constructive way, within written texts and in dialogue between their authors. In the context of the rising tide of intolerance in the world, in Europe and in Turkey, we regret that the participation of Vias Naipaul was made impossible. And now the main text of the Istanbul 2010 Declaration. The freedom of all types of cultural and literary acts is vital. Every direct or indirect barrier preventing freedom of expression should be abolished. Powerful institutional and civil society support should be mobilized to prevent violence and threats to freedom of expression. Second paragraph. All practices that hinder freedom of publishing should be eradicated. All methods of oppression against writers, translators and publishers should be opposed, including the use of penal codes and laws to harass and intimidate writers, such as has happened in Turkey and elsewhere in Europe. Linguistic oppression is unacceptable. Everyone should be free to express themselves in the language of their choice. Methods should be devised to transgress the hierarchy between centre and periphery. Minority languages and minor languages should be supported, and translation into and out of these languages must be funded. The role of translation is of utmost importance in determining the literary landscape. Translation is essential for cross-border literacy. New sources of funding must be sought and existing ones protected. Measures should be taken to produce and make accessible non-mainstream independent works of literature. Literary genres at the risk of extinction should be protected. Policies should be generated to prevent the standardization of expression and promote bibliodiversity. Digital media is essential for freedom of thought and expression. The digital media is a potential sphere of democratization. We oppose government censorship, We oppose government surveillance and censorship strategies aimed at limiting the free flow of information and ideas. New ways should be found to access high-quality information and preserve authors' rights. Political, ethnic, religious and national boundaries should not present an obstacle to the writer. We support cultural diversity in